Alright guys, it's time to get busy with some of this stuff here. We've got these old converted experimental crap from PAL Firestick. If you didn't know, Firestick owned PAL or PAL owned Firestick or whatever the hell. And back in the 70s they made a lot of different stuff for CB radios, some pretty crazy stuff actually. And I got some stuff that was from the Firestick place in Phoenix. Some stuff that's never been used. I got it a couple of years ago from a guy named Sam that I know. If you're local, you might know who Sam is. Anyway, he goes to the ham fest and stuff. But just a bunch of crap here. I threw out more than I should have, and I didn't really think I was ever going to need these. And now I'm building DDS VFOs, and it would have been really cool. These ones here, I don't think I could probably use them for anything. This one would be cool for a watt meter project. So whatever the hell they did here, they added a power supply filtering in it and some other stuff, and they never did anything with the rest of it. We're going to take this out of here. These are 70s. We're just going to put them in the trash. There's no reason to have them in here. The binding post we could probably save for some other project, but we got that. And we get this weird thing here. And now I might test this to see if this works, just for the hell of it. We've got like some pretty weird stuff going on here. I'm guessing this was a meter also. And they put a fuse in the normal spot for the SO239. So I'm just going to start removing stuff out of here that doesn't need to be in here. We have a dummy load they made, which is kind of cool, but and sufficient for CB radio. But so I don't know what this relay is supposed to do. I want to get that out of there. I'm going to pull out the big soldering iron just to make things a little easier. So that's what we're going to do here. There's so many weird little wires in here. Is this thing not heating up again? I've had so much trouble with these tips on these things. And I've got a couple of really similar soldering guns. I'm going to grab another one. When I find these at the thrift store, I always buy them. This one's a 260 and a 200. Let me plug this one into something else. I got this power thing over here. I'm trying to see battery backup. I don't want it on that one because it's a UPS. It'll probably trip the damn thing. So this one's 200. This is a D550, which is weird because this one's a D550. They're both D550s. One's Cooper, one's Weller. And Cooper is in North Carolina. Weller was in Pennsylvania. They're still Weller, but this is an older one. This is Bakelite. I think this one's Bakelite 2, but I'm not sure. For some reason, we went from 260, 200 to 240, 325. So this is claiming to be 240, 325 dual. And they never can figure out which one's what. It's always dimmer there on most of them. You know, it's kind of me, I just pull the trigger in all the way, but I think on the other one, the trigger all the way in is high, on this one it's low. So I don't really know. Just figure out which one works the best. Start getting stuff taken apart. We're gonna kind of see if maybe there might be some power coming out of this or not. It's like 4 volts. That doesn't seem right. Let's see where it's going in here. That is weird. Let me see if I can grab my pliers over here. I hear it click, but so let's see, we've got a bunch of really weird stuff going on here. We have 14.2 volts on there, which is not bad. So that actually is decent. I don't know how they've designed this thing with this relay, but anyway, we'll see if we can salvage this into a usable power supply. Okay, let me come in here and just show you what I discovered. So they kind of floated the parts in here. It's really sketchy. So they've got the positive voltage coming out of here on the board through this cap. There's the bridge rectifier, or at least 4 diodes. Yeah, it's a bridge. So they've got a bridge rectifier. So the negative side comes out of here, behind this fake fuse. Like, why would you put a fuse in here and then just have it like fake? It's sort of strange. I know they put the fuse in here to cover up the SO239 that they removed, but like, just use it. There's a fuse in it. I don't know what size it is. Let me see. Let me pull out my magnifier. 250 volt. It's a bus. MTH5. So I think it is a 5 amp fuse. Anyway, I don't know what this would draw, but you wouldn't want it drawing more than 5 amps, I don't think. So you could see at one point in time they had this thing screwed down to the bottom, possibly. There's holes drilled in it, and I don't know why they removed them. I guess we could try and screw this thing down here. I don't know if the meter shunt works or not. So the transformer is good. The only things that could go bad in here are the caps, and we've got 2 470s. I've got new ones of those. I wouldn't worry about the diodes. I wouldn't worry about the resistors. I would worry about that one there, which is a 2... I can't read it. It's a 25 volt DC cap. The fact it still works is actually amazing. So we've got a toggle switch that does work, but you do this weird circuit here. There's a diode across this to that leg going to the regulator. So it's not really a regulator, it's just a transistor. A 2N, let's see if I can read it. 6395 RCA. It says 7613 on it. I think it's a 1976 RCA. I don't seem to see the value of the big cap. It's hidden back here. There's some lugs here for mounting this, so I think what I probably should do is move this piece here and have this so it's not floating around. Okay, so let me see if I can get this thing here. Alright, so we pulled this out of here and did that from the board. We then did that from the fuse, as there's no point. What they did was they couldn't reach over here, so they put them both on here. They could have just swapped them around. But here's the transistor and the board. And I don't understand the relay circuit at all. Like, I don't understand what the point is. The relay energizes. You got negative coming through here, and they put this really crappy jumper over here. So the voltage is going two different directions. So we're feeding the output through this rheostat resistor, and then we're going through this, I don't know what is this, 47 ohm resistor, and that's going to the positive. So they basically had the output coming off of that as well and through here. So eventually what it does is when the power shuts off, it completely disconnects the negative side. Why? Don't understand what the point of that is. There's another yellow wire that they had down in here, and I think maybe that went to something else on this shunt. Let's see, maybe it was like some kind of current limiting type of idea, because the yellow's on the other side. You can see funny solder marks on here. I just can't imagine what the hell they were doing. So we have a 3000 microfarad old ass capacitor in here, and it still works. So, but this board was meant to go all the way down, and they just kind of shoved this thing in here. So I'm not 100% sure what the best approach is with this thing. Like, if I'm going to use it and we want this shunt right here, we need to attach some screws to make sure it stays put. I think we should probably remove this entire thing. I don't see what this is possibly going to do. It doesn't look like a crowbar circuit of any kind. It doesn't look like a protection circuit of any kind. They had this coil being powered up. I mean, I don't know, maybe how would it you're using the output to turn it on and off. It doesn't make sense. Is it so that the radio... Well, and I noticed it stayed energized for a while because it took a while for the caps to bleed off. I don't know. I can't understand what they were doing here. Negative and positive. Energizes the coil and connects the output on the negative side. I don't know. I'm not sure what the hell they were doing. I'm scratching my head. If you guys know, let me know. Anyway, I'm gonna mess with this a little bit more and see if I can get it a little tidier. Alright, so I cleared this one out. I just had a cap going across here, like, for some stupid reason, and nothing was hooked to the meter anywhere. The switch is left over from a SWR meter. It's the wrong meter for an SWR meter, but I mean, we might be able to calibrate it to do something. So these are DC milliamperes. That's a strange read. Why would you be concerned about 1 milliamp? Seems like a strange scale. It should be like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But 0.2, 0.4. So this, I have a couple of these meters. They all say BDE or BD or whatever on them. But so I just want to clear that out of there and get some of these parts out of here. These are probably pretty sketchy to be using. We could save the resistors, diodes, and terminals, but really wouldn't want to use any of these. Alright, so I mounted the lug in there, put a spacer there so I can attach that so it can't float around, and a screw through there so that can't float around. Added the fuse back in here and removed that other part, and then we're going to see if we can get we'll put some, I'm probably going to solder that there for a jumper point, and we'll see if we can't put some binding posts on it somewhere, front or back, whatever, doesn't really matter. We'll just drill it. Alright, we got the power supply done for the most part, so I tried to reuse everything I could find. I don't like where that's sitting. So I added the fuse back in. I secured the current shunt. I put this down here just for the hell of it. I cleaned up the metal behind here. This thing was all like funky. It looked like they reamed it out, so they just kind of went in and clipped the edges with a clipper and then kind of tried to get in there and file it. So I drilled holes, added these binding posts. I spaced them far enough apart to where one of these type of devices should be able to plug right into the front, properly spaced. I think we could put a light here, and we would put a cord there or something. We could put another switch, maybe just to switch off one of these or something. I don't know. But this will fit in there. And I think what they had is they had a CB radio power cord coming out of here. So we'll just leave that for now. We might even be able to find some stupid little plug that'll fit in there. I might even be able to like 3D print a plug. It's covered up and it doesn't really matter. Or just put some kind of LED light in it or something. Or I've got a couple of different things. So I don't know if I would trust this, but it was just kind of something to do. If you look at it now, it looks pretty cool. Before, it was all flopping around. I'm going to leave the dummy load in it, I guess. There's no reason to really pull it out of there at this point. Be at 33, 33, 33, 33. They're all in. Isn't red 3? I can't remember. Well, is it 330? It's 330 ohms, or I don't know. Can't even remember how to read resistors. Whatever it is, it's divided by 4 because they're all parallel. And I'm pretty sure I measured it and it was 50 ohms. So I guess we can put a cover on this. Give it away to somebody else that needs a power supply. I don't know. It needs legs. And they occupied one of the spots down there for one of the legs. Because now this thing is sticking out. But yeah, I mean, whatever. It was something to do. Alright, we're gonna pull out the meter and just give it a test. Maybe I'll look for some kind of power supply load to put on here. Okay. So it keeps creeping up a little too much. So, and we'd guess that's probably why they put that resistor in there. So, we may go ahead and add that back in there for the hell of it. If I can find something that would put a load on this. I'm trying to think of what I have laying around. I can see if the ammeter works or not. It's amazing. I actually have nothing laying around that I could like just quickly hook to this. Let me see here. Okay, so I've got a fan right here. It's probably going to scream because I think that voltage is a little high. Come on. Oh Lord. Okay, let me see if I can try something else here. I put these in here in such a way I should be able to do this. Okay. Yep. 14.5 I think is a little bit much. Oh, it sagged. So that fan made it sag. I can see it's drawing a little bit of current. No idea how accurate this thing is, or if they have it even calibrated for the scale that's written on there. I think they probably have it calibrated for something else. I bet you they got it like calibrated for like amps. So anyway, seems like it's okay for all that. Well, I'm just gonna leave it plugged in for a while, and see how it does. Just play around with it. I don't really need it for anything. I don't know what kind of protection it really has, if any. So I guess it could be a neat little experiment. Maybe we could even just turn it into an adjustable power supply. It does have a regulator, and there's probably a way to adjust it. It's pretty low power. I don't know what the capability of the transformer is. I would say probably somewhere around 3 amps, maybe less. But anyway, this is kind of a little project to mess around with and fiddle with. And that was from the PAL firestick place. So I just got the fan in here running. You see how I cleaned it up. Actually installed a fuse, so it's kind of a weird deal.